All right, you guys. This next performance is going to be unconventional. We have a dead rock star among us, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Make some noise for Jim Morrison.
What up, people? How y'all doing tonight? Whoa, let's try that again. How y'all doing tonight? Alright, well that's what I like to hear. Well, my name is Jim Morrison, and I was the lead singer of The Doors back in the day. The Doors is a fucking awesome band. Are any of you people in the house a fan of The Doors? Fuck yeah! Well, I'd like to tell you guys a fucking story now about how I started my band, The Doors. So I went to school at UCLA, and that was where I met Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and John Densmore, and we were having fun together. I also met my girlfriend, Pamela Corson, at UCLA. It was a fucking awesome place, and my friends and I, when we got together, was like, hey, let's start a band, and like, yeah, we'll start the band The Doors. I'm like, holy shit, yeah, let's do it. So Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and John Densmore and I started the band. We started writing some songs, and we were performing gigs and recording some songs in our studio, and it was fucking awesome. So now I'd like to tell you guys about some of the gigs we've done. So some of the places where my friends and I, and where my bandmates and I performed in LA were places like the Whiskey at Go-Go nightclub and other nightclubs and many other venues in LA. And it was fucking awesome. We started to build some fans, build an audience, and it was fucking awesome. We had a good time. And we also were spending a lot of time in our studio. And we were writing songs, you know, like Break On Through to the Other Side, Light My Fire, Touch Me, so many others. And one of our biggest hits back in the day was Light My Fire. That song's fucking awesome. And there was one time that my bandmates and I got invited to perform on the Ed Sullivan Show, and he asked us to play Light My Fire. And when we were on that show, one of the producers of the show told us that we needed to try to change the lyrics to part of the song of Light My Fire. In the part where we say, girl, we couldn't get much higher, the producer didn't want us to sing that part just because he thought we'd be referring to drugs. He was like, hey, don't sing that part. Instead, maybe sing something like, girl, we can't get much better. But regardless of what the producer said about the show, my friends and I just went on, and we were on national TV, and we were performing, and once we started singing Light My Fire, I still started singing, and I got to the part, and I still said, girl, we couldn't get much higher, and the producer was pissed off. I was like, what the fuck, you wasn't supposed to sing that. And he was pissed off, and he was threw a fit. I'm like, what the fuck, man, you weren't supposed to sing that part of the song, you know, on national TV. I can't believe you did that when I told you not to do that. And so then he said we weren't allowed to be on his show again. I'm like, holy shit, fuck that, but we're not going to let that stop us as a band. So the Ed Sullivan Show didn't work out for us bandmates, but we still kept going, and we wrote more songs, and so we did a whole lot of shit together and wrote some good songs, and we're recording, producing records, releasing albums, things like that. And one of my stage names I came up with one time, you know, was the Lizard King. That's another name I'm known by besides Jim Morrison. And then later on, we were doing more gigs and more places. And there was one time I was getting addicted to some drugs and alcohol, and I was starting to miss some of my concerts and recording sessions with my band. My bandmates were like, what the fuck, where's Jim Morrison? And they didn't know where I was. And there was one time that I was late for a concert, and when I was there, I was really out of it that day, and I got drunk and on stage, and I was really out of it, and in front of a large audience. The audience was like, what the fuck? And so I got arrested, I was on trial, and I had to spend some time in prison, but I got out of trial later on. And then, one of the last concerts my bandmates and I performed in was a concert just at a party. And then after that last concert, my girlfriend Pam Corson and I moved to LA. We moved from LA to Paris, and so we lived in Paris for a little bit. And it was in 1971. Things were starting to not go so well for me. I was too addicted to some shit. But later on, I turned my life around, and I'm still 27 like I was back then. I'm 27 again today, and I'm back living a new life, and I'm living a fucking awesome life now. So that's pretty much my story about how I started the band, The Doors, and how I had a life then, but I turned my life around, and now I'm the new Jim Morrison. So, and now one of my favorite quotes of mine that I'd like to close with tonight is one of my favorites, stating, "A friend is someone who gives you total freedom to be yourself." That's my time. Thank you for watching tonight. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you!
Jim Morrison, everybody. People are strange.